Well, I wanted to start with the 2-year-olds. Didn't do my top 10 list yet, didn't do anything like that, but I want to talk about them. I want to tell you what I saw today and what you should have seen also. I got a very interesting email from one of our more prominent owners, and I was going to tell you his name, but I'm not going to now. I'm sure you can figure it out. So this gentleman is a breeder and a racetrack owner and operator, and wanted to reaffirm how impressed he was with the job that we do here at the stable in letting our clients, one, be a part of the action, and two, informing them what is going on. Now, he said today he didn't know that his horses trained well, the horses he had, but then went back and watched the videos again and said, geez, one or two of them look really good. Third one could be looking a little better. That third horse, he was mistaken. It was the wrong horse, and ended up emailing back saying, yeah, geez, I was really happy with all three of them. So that is what we allow people to do, whether you're a prominent owner of a racetrack or whether you're a guy in Germany or a guy in Florida or a guy locked down here in Ontario. It gives you the opportunity to watch your horses train and make your own decision. And as I said, in regards to a number of horses, a couple of them I had echoed during the broadcast, and I'll tell you again, for the people that are concerned when their horses make breaks, I tell you, these are babies. They will make breaks. That doesn't mean they will forever. And the breaks they make, if they learn from them today, they're less likely to make them on race night. And that, again, was seen and brought to fruition today. Matt's MVP, I told you how good he was training. Not on drone day, but how good he was training. And he looked incredible today. And then I don't know if I saw a better looking horse today than Garden State Dio. She looked awesome. These are two horses that have struggled quite a bit throughout the winter and have looked awesome of late, look great again today. So don't let your eyes deceive you. You make your own decisions about the horses, but I am going to tell you what I think of every one of our 47 horses starting right now. Almost There Boss, we're going to start with. Almost There Boss. We had him castrated. We changed his shoes. We let his hobbles out. Went through quite a transformation, both physically, mentally. That angle is coming on. But mechanically also. I had told Greg today, I watched the video again, let his hobbles out again, let him struggle. Go ahead, let him struggle with a longer hobble. He's going to have to learn how to do it right and do it the right way. So we're going to continue to let his hobbles out, put a little set of brace bandages on him next time. He was a little scrambly, but still pretty good. Went a good mile today. Greg was very, very happy with him. This was his first training trip back since being castrated. Or was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. But nevertheless, he trained well today. Amor Diener continues to train well. That was a good set of horses that went today. He went a mile in 2:24, I believe. Continues to get closer to racing, but does his work well. Very, very happy with him as of late. That's not true. I've been very happy with him for well over a month. Archer's Rainbow was disappointing today. Amy went with her, said she was rolly in the turns, a little out of gear. I trained her in like 2:22 on last Saturday. She was very, very good. And then Johnny went with her on Wednesday and said she was incredible. Don't really know what get into her today. She have a little bug? Was she slipping a bit? I really don't know. But certainly not the horse that I've seen over the last week. So we'll give her a pass, a mulligan, as they say. Make no mistake, I think this may be one of the best Ontario breds we have. Archer's Rainbow is a tall, lanky filly that is only going to get better. And I honestly have no idea what took place with her today, but I suspect that it will not be repeated next week. Better Be Sawyer was good again. She continues to get better and better and better, this filly. Finished up strong in the middle and looked really, really good coming on late. Very happy with Better Be Sawyer. Blue Bayou Dio, I watched the video. You can't really see it. If you look closely, you'll see that she actually breaks her trotting hobbles, finishing up her mile with Will to Win Hanover. But what I liked most about her was how comfortable she is in the mile. What might do you the most good is to go back and look at the video. Look at what her ears are doing when she's on the front end trotting. They're up. She's having fun. She's looking around. And then when it's go time, it's go time. Will to Win Hanover's no joke. She beat me fair and square, but I did break my trotting hobbles halfway down the lane. So Blue Bayou Dio, very, very good again today. Bomb Hugger, Jimmy Gillespie, first time he ever went with her, come off the track, and he goes, now I see what you're talking about. This thing can fly. He said, Mario made a break in front of me. I had to go around him, and she was coming to everybody down the lane, and she was. I am so happy with what I've seen from this filly, to keep her back in neutral, to have her just wired tight to the point where she looked like she was ready to qualify a month ago, and then just get her to relax and coast back into neutral, and then gradually ask her today. Very, very, very happy with what I've seen from Bomb Hugger. Today was one of the most impressive miles I've seen since the day we really had her ready to rock a little over a month ago. Century Invictus finished up very, very strong today, climbing over top of the horse in front of him, finishing up a great mile from him, a great training mile from him. Brody did a great job with this horse this morning. Confederate Cruiser looked great again. He was climbing over me. That entire set was within 2.5 lengths. And Confederate Cruiser looked good again. I know Dave was watching him go and said, geez, he might be okay after all. I've always said that. I mean, he's a small horse, but he's putting on muscle now, looks good. Whatever he is, he's going to be the best of it he can be. He's got a great attitude, this colt. Duke Dio is in the stall. He's going to start swimming next week. We've instituted this I guess, protocol, and where if the horses get on a line and it looks like their knees are a little rough, one of two things can happen. With Eyes of 10, Rosie's Masterpiece, and 3-Point Blue Chip, we simply had the vet inject them with polyglycan, which is kind of like acid and Adequan, I guess, mixed. I don't need the medical stuff behind it. Very good for their joints, but you don't usually inject horses this time of year. But again, we're going to switch things up. I've given the option of two options to the vet: inject those 3 horses, or we'll stop them for 3 weeks in stall and swim them for 3 weeks. And it's been a good relationship with the veterinary. Melissa knows exactly what I'm trying to do here. We injected those 3 horses, and actually 3-Point Blue Chip didn't really need injected, but we had his splints done. He felt a little tight in his knees, so I said, I'd go ahead and do them. Eyes of 10 and Rosie Masterpiece, both a little roughness on the third carpal, nothing to be concerned about. Again, we opted to inject those 2 horses, and then when it came to Twinbee Habanero and Duke Dio, they were a full stop. 3 weeks in the stall, 3 weeks in the pool, bring them back, and away we go. It's worked out very, very well with the horses we've done it with. Now, Hill Magic had an OCD removed, but you can see the time off, the time in the pool. She looked amazing today. Did she go to the pool? I don't think she did. LSL looked good. I had to go back and watch the videos a little bit to get a real barometer. Talking to Jimmy about how he went, he said, no, he was good. I thought the colt was really good. He's a colt we really haven't really pushed hard on and really dropped the hammer on for quite a while. Not that we have to, but I was very, very happy with what I saw from LSL this morning. Eyes of 10 can flat out fly. Very happy with what I've seen from this filly. Flying again on the end of it. Amy said she touched her knee, but she didn't. She touched up on her jack. That's fine. It's not a big deal at all. Just put a little higher set of boots on her. I know exactly what she was doing. Really just coming out of her harness, trying to pass everybody, and extended a little fur, which is great. Extended as far as she could and touched up on her jack. No big deal at all. And Eyes of 10 looked awesome today. I would say Garden State Deal looked the best today. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I have to look over a lot of information and take it all in before I make my top 10 list. But you guys know what I think of. Massive Profit, and she beat me fair and square and made me like it today. She looked incredible. Very good training mile today from Garden State Dio. Grace was good again today, continues to get better every single week. Amy looks good on her. It's a good combination. I love Grace, obviously love my wife, so very happy with what I've seen from Grace so far. Granite Hill, I told everybody, you're going to have to relax. It's not that a lot of people are putting pressure on me with Granite Hill, but you've seen what we've done with Garden State Dio, right? You've seen what we did in a week with Matt's MVP. Granite Hill is not going to be fixed in a week. His stifles are weak. He's putting on muscle. Every week he looks a little bit better, a little bit stronger, but still prone to make that odd error like he did in the last turn today in the same place. That's where he makes it. So he's just going to have to get better. He wants to do it. He wants to be a good horse. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks, but I have a sneaky suspicion you're not going to see the best Granite Hill until June, which is fine. That's a month before we need him to be his very best. So Granite Hill, just keep your eye on him. I think you're going to see incremental increases in his ability and talent level over the next month or so. Harlan L was fantastic. Jimmy said, I just came first over, kept the bit in his mouth and growled at him. And he was right beside Spent finishing up and looked very good trotting. Harlan L, it could be the turnaround horse of the season. He actually wants to do his work now. Very impressed with what I've seen from him. Harvard Yard, again, I can't really give you much information. I'm told she's training good. I'll probably get an update tonight or tomorrow from Tim on Harvard Yard. Hill of Magic looked absolutely fantastic today. First training trip in a long time without hobbles on. James said she's just a very talented filly. So Hill of Magic looked great. Kathy and I looked great. Made a break in the turn well after the mile, but we were trotting pretty hard at that point also. She finished up strong, right in behind us. Luck of the Dragon, Amy said he was good, but I don't know him that well, and I didn't really put him in gear when I felt I should have. And he's one of these horses where I think he's reached a plateau where he knows he's fast, he knows he's good. Does he put in 105% every day? No. And I don't think I really have to turn him on just yet. Probably in the next 3 weeks or so, I'll light a fire on him, pitch a couple of logs on the fire, so to speak, and Luck of the Dragon will come to life and hopefully breathe fire by the time we race in the next generation. Massive Profit, great horse. I think, as I said, one of our best horses. He's not a super talented horse on a half-mile track. What I love about him is what I think he'll do more than anything. I love that he uses all the tools you gave him. I like that he improves every week, even on the half-mile track. Yeah, he was out-sprinted by Garden State Dio, but maybe I'll be ready for it next time. Who knows? Matt's MVP, very strong, looked very, very good today. I keep telling you guys, a lot of people are down in the dumps. Oh, what's wrong with Matt's MVP? You guys really got to chill out when it comes to the 2-year-olds. They're going to make breaks, and every time they make a break, I learn something from the break, and they learn something from the break. Best case scenario. And with a horse like Matt's MVP, a little stubborn, a little stupid sometimes, but I guarantee you the extra work that I put in this week certainly paid off today. It was pretty evident. Mischievous Rose, Amy said, is just like a little race car. You can do whatever you want with her. She's just super handy, great filly, great attitude. Nothing negative to say, absolutely nothing negative to say about Mischievous Rose. Miss Mildred looked good again today. Colt, I thought he won the set, but no, he did not win the set. Slim Jimmy held on and looked good. But the other filly, Miss Mildred, came from a long way back to get to Jimmy. And Miss Mildred looked very, very good again today. Of Tom, I told you guys on the broadcast and in the opening, I just love this filly. She could have been fourth today. And just when horses start to figure out that it's better to win than finish fourth, both mentally for yourself, and they'll know later on when they're racing. But Of Tom, she just stuck her big giraffe neck out at the wire and made sure that she was the first one there. And you can't teach them that. For her to know that now is not shocking because she's super smart. I just love everything about this filly. She's very, very sweet and cuddly in the barn, and she can be a little goofy getting on the track sometimes, but in the mile, flawless. One of the nicest gaited, smoothest gaited horses we've had in quite a while, and I'm very, very impressed with Of Tom. 1-2 skip a few. Know what's wrong with her. Honestly, we couldn't fix it for today. What needs to happen is those flip-flops need to come off. Bar shoes need to go on, and we need to work on her feet. You'll see the best 1-2 skip a few in 14 days, but not until then. She'll muddle through because she's tough as whalebone. She is tough. Like today, the only reason she rolled off is because she was trying to catch up to Mario. She's just a true competitor and a great filly. Just got to get her back sound. The best way to do that. I would have thought flip-flops would help her. Her feet are sore. That's the one thing the vet said. Left front ankle, right hind ankle. We addressed both of those. She said across her heels, very sore in her feet. So we'll see over the next 2 weeks if I'm right. Peanut Butter and Jelly was good, and Prairie Fire, very similar. Middle of the pack, doing the work very, very well and looked great. Peanut Butter and Jelly, a mile and 2:24 today, good mile for her. And Prairie Fire, mile and probably 2:25 for him, and he looked good also. Procrastinator broke his maiden today. He's going to be on the top 10 list again, this horse. He made them like it and looked good today doing it. Procrastinator, big mile, first over from 5th, cleared to the lead and put them to sleep. Procrastinator looked very, very good today. Purple Aura was good today. Little aggressive. Old wet Greg, he had the hammer down all day. Came real hard with Purple Aura, and then I come and got him with Of Tom. He was fighting back down the lane, but she trained well. Again, very, very good looking filly. Renegade Gypsy rolled off. Going to make a little shoeing change on Gypsy this week and see if that helps him. He's just got to get through those turns. And again, this is a tight track for a big boy. So I'm not too worried about what goes on with Renegade Gypsy just yet. Resolute Bay, I didn't realize he made a break until after. When I asked Greg how he went, he said good. He omitted the X on his line. He's made that break in that place before. Johnny knows this horse real good. Johnny wasn't here today. He had the day off with his daughter. And he's the guy for Resolute Bay. He knows the horse real well. I think he just kind of put him, Greg allowed him to put him in a bad spot, and he did. So Not a big deal. He'll bounce back. Rose above it was good again. I got to be honest. He might have had a teensy amount of TQ in him. He's just been so hot lately. We just want to take an edge off him and see how he is. I got to get those bell boots off him up front, I believe, also. Maybe we'll continue to TQ him for a little bit. James said he behaved moderately well in the hole. Just got to teach him. Teach this guy. So, Rose above it was good today. I know I get locked in behind Stonebridge Dolce, and you're not going to make up that ground, but finished up well. I was happy with him. James was happy with him. Learning experience every week for Rose above it. Rosie's masterpiece didn't go today. We had her knees injected at the vet on Thursday. Her first training mile will be next Saturday. Not next Wednesday, next Saturday for her. Slim Jimmy was fantastic. Won his training set today. Looked very, very good. Spent also won. Now, for those of you that are horsemen out there, take a look at what we did with Spent. He can pull and get really ornery, gets his head down. So we actually had a Crit Davis on him, had a snake cord in his mouth, an ear hood, earplugs, tongue tie, head pull, and Murphy blind in the inside, trotting boots behind and bell boots up front. Pretty standard. Not really a big deal, aside from the snake cord and stuff. Took it all off him the other day. He had a rough week. He worked hard this week. Wednesday. So Friday, I said, no, just leave him alone. Put an open happy bridle on him. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's just an open bridle, no head check at all. I said, no boots, just polo bandages, just polo wraps behind. And I went 3/8 a mile with him yesterday, and I came in, I said, just like this today, tomorrow, which was today. And I went out, he trained his mile today with a set of polo wraps on behind. Nothing else. Open bridle, no head check, no ear hood, no earplugs, no snake cord, no nothing. Had a tongue tie on, but no nothing else, and was very attentive today and did his work very, very well. So some changes made with Spent, all for the positive from what I could see today in the video. Stonebridge Dolce, going to make a few shooting changes on her. Her hobbles were tight today. I went to score her down a couple of times with them out longer, and she just didn't feel like she'd trot. So she's going to have her good days. I think it's really going to be, hopefully, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, worst case. But some days it's 1 step forward, 2 back with her. She was tired from the hobbles today. I'm going to lighten her shoes up, put aluminums turned around, which is rare. She's got a similar gait to another filly that we actually had a lot of luck with, Spend That Money. And very similar gait to her, so we're going to shoe her in a similar way. I'm going to put aluminums on her up front, turn them around backwards. I don't think she's hitting like Spend That Money, but I could be wrong. And if the shoeing works, then obviously just because I didn't see it doesn't mean it wasn't occurring. So a lot, as you can hear what I'm saying, a lot of what we do is trial and error. I could be way wrong, and we could just take those shoes right off her today and put them right back on her next week. But come Tuesday, we're going to make a little shoeing change and see if it helps Stonebridge Dolce. Stonebridge Acadi, a little overmatched and overpowered today, but won a good mile. You know, if you watch how he finished up after, he caught up to us and came forward. He continues to put sound miles in, which is good, which is a good thing, and I expect him to continue to do that and grow and come forward, much like the next horse, Sweet on Pete. As James put it, and I agreed 100%, her mind just thinks her body can do more than it can just yet. Just needs time. Just needs a little time. Got 2 months. Lots of time to put into her. I think Sweet on Pete will be just fine. Just going to take a little time. 3-Point Blue Chip had the day off today. He was injected. He'll be back at it Wednesday. He looks good. Now he's growing up. He's starting to dapple out. He's starting to get that, you know, instead of having that empty look in his head like he didn't know what was going on, he understands it all. Very happy with what I've seen from 3-Point Blue Chip. Taiwan On was good again today. Actually, she was a little better on Wednesday, but still good today. I thought in Of Tom's set, Taiwan On, the way she just screamed up beside my bridle, she's a winner. She didn't get there. Of Tom, I guess, just wanted it more than her today. But Taiwan On was very good on Wednesday and has been very good. Very excited to see how she's going to turn out in the coming months. Tioga Sunshine was good. I said Jeff had messaged me and said, hey, you know, Philly didn't look that good. I said, oh, she was behind me. I said, Jimmy said she was good. I don't know. I went back and watched the video, and she looked fine. He was watching the wrong horse. I said she was the one on the far outside. She looked great. So Tioga Sunshine was good again today. Twin Bee Habanero comes back next week. I guess his first training's next week or the week after. I'll have to look at my notes. If it's next week, his first training session will be next Saturday. If it's a week after, then it'll be the following Saturday. Twinkle in Her Eye was good again today. Hard to say because she was way back there, but she beat everybody. No, World for Two and her were noses apart in a scream fest down the lane. World for Two was good again today. I might have beat him. He might have beat me on Wednesday. I don't know, but she was very good. James actually pulled up and said, you know, I'll be honest. a month ago, I didn't like this filly. He said, I didn't know what to think of her. He said, I like what I saw today. I very much like her. I think she's going to come forward in a big way. And I told him, I said, well, I mean, she got a full sister winning 51, made 300,000, and her mother's a half sister to Better Than Cheddar and Courtly Choice. I would hope the breeding would bubble up, and it appears it is. She might not have looked good to you today. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. But James was very happy with her, and I thought she was out of this world good on Wednesday. Maybe not out of this world good. Very, very good on Wednesday. You Gotta Believe was good. Continues to the old meat and potatoes. Leafer, he just continues to get better and better and better. He looked good again today. Unbeatable Kemp was the day off today. Had both his curbs crowd behind. One had popped out a little bit. Other one was suspect. The vet gassed them both. Should be back next week jogging. I don't even think you're going to see him train Saturday. No. He'll jog all next week. He won't train until a week from Wednesday at the earliest. Voyage of Ice and Fire was great. Yeah. You might have said, he might have won. Mario could have went by. He was going by me, and I said, hey, they're way back there. So we both kind of grabbed up, but he had me beat with World for Two, a PA-bred pacer, and I had an Ohio-bred trotter. I find it hard to believe. I'd said to James after, I said, historically speaking, because I can't predict. I can only tell you in the past, historically speaking, it's going to take a good group of colts to beat Voyage of Ice and Fire unless he falls apart in 2 minutes, which I just don't see happening. He just looks so good. I get such a good feeling going with this horse all the time. He's a good horse, and I can't wait for the summer to come for Voyage of Ice and Fire of Tom. Isa 10, Purple Aura. I could go on and on and on. Should have a good year in Ohio. I believe we have a good year coming in Ohio. And Will to Win Hanover was great again today. As James said, she's just stupid. He said there's no other way to explain it. She's stupid. He said, we're just going to have to drill it into her that this is how you race. This is what racing means. There's nothing wrong with that. There's lots of my most favorite horse I've ever had my whole life. If you put anybody walks up and said, quick question, best horse you ever had, every time it's going to be the Big Fred, just because of what he meant to me. And I can assure you, I have never in my entire life brushed a stupider horse than the Big Fred ever in my life. And I loved him to death. Still do. So, Will to Win Hanover, yeah, might not be a bad thing that she's stupid. Maybe that's why these breaks, we're just going to have to continue to drill it into her how to do it right and not do it wrong. So, Will to Win Hanover was some kind of good again today. And World for Two, if that wasn't an impressive mile to you, then I don't know what is. World for Two just shows that he could be anything, any kind of horse. I don't know what he'll be. I have no idea, but he could be any kind of horse, and he looks some kind of good right now. Mario's done a great job with him, and he looks fantastic. Very, very impressed with World for Two. So, that's the W's. There's nothing after World for Two. He looked great. I can't wait to see how the babies are going to turn out in the next 2 months. Unfortunately, for the next probably 14 days, I'm not going to be present here in Ontario. There's just too much to do. There's too much to do, and with the shutdown here, yes, I have to be here for the babies, but when it comes to how I see them right now, I don't think anything could be screwed up in 2 weeks. And not to say that anybody on the premises would ever screw a baby up anyway, but I love what I've seen. And I suspect that that's going to be the forward progression right into qualifying days that we've seen. It is April the 2nd, and I can and I can still honestly say, maybe 3rd, I can still honestly say we have 47 horses, and I can give you a comfortable path for all 47 to race. The only horse I was worried about was Procrastinator, and he certainly looked like he was on his way to the races today. So, as we stand right now, I think we're going to go 47 for 47 by July 1st. We'll see. Take care.